Start game now.
Welcome, retro fans. This is the No Swear Gamer with retro reviews, and today I have a special unboxing. Yes, that's right. I'm going to be unboxing some Atari 2600 and 7800 games, mostly 2600. Lately, I've been buying quite a few lots. If you've been following the reviews, this will be my third unboxing review related to Atari games. Kind of been on like a little Atari kick, I guess. It's not that I don't like the other systems, I really do, but I just been on that kind of kick, especially looking after trying to find some Atari 7800, some of the rare titles. So let's get to it. I paid about 40 cents a game when all is said and done. That includes the shipping. Got about 30 some games here, and we'll get right to it. The first game I have is, and that's appropriate, Combat, the original pack-in game for the Atari video computer system, also known as the Atari VCS or 2600. And this is the picture version with a very nice label, shows a lot of action. This game is only a two-player game, so you need to have a friend if you're going to play Combat, or you're going to get pretty bored pretty quickly. They also made a text variant of the game, and I think we'll see some text labels. You know an Atari game is old if it's made by Atari and the label is all text. So here we go. Combat is our first game. We'll put that to the side. Next up is Galaga for the 7800. There's not a lot of 7800 games in this lot, but here's one of them. One thing the 7800 did a pretty good job of is playing arcade games, especially the older ones, and Galaga is a good example of this. Don't know if I ever actually owned Galaga when I was younger, when I originally had a 7800, but I look forward to trying this one out. This is a silver black and white label. Some of the 7800 games are this kind of black and white variant. It's an okay label. This one could use some color, and some of them are color, and we will go on. So next up, Super Breakout. Okay, Super Breakout is a pretty fun game, and I believe some of the original guys, maybe Steve Jobs, somebody from Apple, I think, worked on Breakout back in the Atari days as they were getting their break. Super Breakout uses the paddle controllers. It's a pretty fun game. I believe it's one or two players, so variations. Love how they have these astronaut guys kind of playing tennis or ping pong or racquetball in space. So Super Breakout, pretty fun game, kind of like Arkanoid if you know that game. So there you go, Super Breakout. Let's take out another one. All right, Telegames. Sears made their own version of the Atari 2600 called the Telegame system, and when they made their own version of the games, they came out with these labels. When you usually see a Telegames label from the side, it's hard to tell what it is because all you see is the number. So if you're missing this little label, you want to know that this is Asteroids, which is actually a pretty good conversion of Asteroids if you ask me. So here you go, the Telegames version of Asteroids. No difference when you put the game in. Same game, just different label variation. And there's 64 versions of Asteroids, and I'm sure several of them are very fun. Okay. Here is a 7800 color label, and so far every unboxing I've done, I've had this game, one-on-one basketball. So there you go, one-on-one. Actually, I think in one of the videos I unboxed, I said there was only one basketball game. Actually, later in the life, there was a game that I'm going to look to get one day called Basket Brawl. But one-on-one is just that, a one-on-one basketball game. You either pick Dr. J or Larry Bird, and you go at it, shooting a bunch of three-pointers, doing some dunks. You can even break the backboard. So it's an okay game. Pretty fun in my opinion, so I might look at that later. So basketball for the Atari 7800. Next up, Dodge 'em. I think if I remember right, it's like a maze game where you drive a car and the computer's trying to crash into you and you're trying to avoid them. I love the old style guy there driving the car. So it gives it some personality. So it's an interesting game. You just drive in circles in a maze trying to collect some dots and avoid the other guy, if my memory serves me correctly there. 1978 Atari. Old stuff. I don't know if this cartridge is that old. I think they may have had a text label if it was that old, but that's the date on the cartridge. All right. Here's a fun one by Activision. Activision made good games. They really did. And this is boxing. Very simple. Game 1, it's just you with the computer. Game 2 is you and a friend. And the first person is the white boxer. The second person is the black boxer. And you just go at it. Very fun game, even though it's very simple. Activision really excelled at making fun yet simple games for the Atari. So there you go, boxing for the Atari 2600. Here's a text label. This shows you that this is an old game. I think the 21, when they started originally releasing games, they actually numbered them. So the first game was 1, the second one was 2. They did stop that eventually, but this is Video Olympics. And all Video Olympics is, I've never played it, but it is a variation of Pong. It's different variations where you can set up Pong so it's more like soccer or foosball, like foosball or hockey and what have you. Never played this, requires the paddles. I'll look into that. I don't know, this might be a 2-player only game. I hope you can play against the computer, but we will find out. I really like it when you have a chance to play against the computer. Here is a great game for the 7800, Food Fight. And I don't believe Food Fight really got very much attention outside of the 7800. Food Fight is incredibly fun. I think it was based on an arcade game. Not too sure, but I never saw an arcade system of it. But Food Fight, very great. Lots of personality. One screen game, but it is a blast. You're just throwing food at these chefs and just having a great old time. So Food Fight for the 7800. I will definitely want to review that one in the future. Here is one of the great labels of all time, Haunted House. Haunted House for the Atari 2600. They actually made an updated version for the Wii. The art really sets the mood. And that is basically you right there. A pair of eyes. That's what you are during the whole game, is just a pair of eyes going through a haunted house, trying to put together some sort of a chalice or urn before you get attacked by these critters. Fun game. Really enjoyed it as a youngster. All right. Another Telegames one. Timed or untimed? It's 8 Telegames. Can you guess what it is? You use the paddle. I don't know. It's Night Driver. Night Driver is really fun. You play a car at night. It's a good excuse to have a black screen, but it is a blast and is one of the better paddle controller games. Okay, let's go on. Barnstorming. Barnstorming is an interesting Activision game. You play as this biplane. You have so much time to get through an obstacle course. You avoid these little tall towers and try and fly. You can either fly over the barns, but what you want to do for points is fly through them. So interesting game. It doesn't last too long, but it is a bit of fun. So let's go ahead and put that down. This cartridge has seen better days. I don't know, there may have been a screw there. I forget. I think there's a screw in Atari games if you remove the label, but this is Circus Atari, another paddle controller game, another fun game with the paddle controls. There's these kind of clowns or whatever that jump on this, what do you call that, seesaw, and you just bounce up to the top of the screen and bust a bunch of balloons, and you try and clear the level as fast as you can. Fun game. Hopefully this one works, even though it looks kind of ugly. Looks like it kind of has a face. Maybe it's smiling or saying, "Oh, play me." All right. And there you go. There's the difference. Circus Atari, same game. This is the older version with the text label. Ooh, why'd that light come on? And you got the, sorry about that, camera decided to do that on its own. And you have this one with the purple label, and you can see kind of the difference there. So Atari, I guess it's getting too dark out. Wanted to light up that label a little bit. So there you go, 2 versions of Circus Atari. Lighting, need lighting. And speaking of labels, there you go, got Combat. And again, the other one had the pictures of the tanks, and this is just the text label. Tells you that you can do a tank, tank pong, invisible tank, biplane, and Jetfire. If you have a second player, it's a really fun game. If you don't have a second player, it is not. Even though I played it as a kid by my lonesome at times. Showed you how bored I was. Laser Blast by Activision, single screen game. I think you're this guy and you're shooting these little things down. Once you shoot all three more come. A little bit repetitive. Maybe not the best Activision game, but still a little bit of fun. Here's a controversial one. Donkey Kong. By Nintendo. It was made by Coleco. So you actually have 3 game consoles. Coleco made a ColecoVision. Later, Nintendo would make a card system, of course, but this was before that. This version of Donkey Kong is considered not to be that good, and some people wonder if Coleco purposely made it look ugly or if it was a limitation of the hardware, but Coleco could have made this version bad, so you'd buy the ColecoVision. Who knows? We'll have to look at this later and see if it's really that bad. And here's one that I've seen a lot lately in my lots, and that's Space Jockey, and that's starting to concern me. I'm starting to wonder if people are just trying to get rid of Space Jockey. I've actually heard some bad things about this game, even though it has a nice label. We'll see. How can you go wrong with a name like VidTech? We'll see. All right, put that aside. Gopher by US Games. Could you buy this in Canada? So Gopher, I think you're the farm. I don't know. I don't remember if you're the farmer or the gopher, but I know it involves a gopher and obviously carrots, and I look forward to trying this one. I can't remember. Played it a long time ago. Memory is not coming through. Outlaw with the little Clint Eastwood type figure on there. Outlaw is one of those games where you can get a friend and shoot against each other, or I think a single person could like shoot out a rolling stagecoach or something. Very interesting. But Outlaw, love that art. Go ahead, make my day. All right. Even though that was wasn't that Dirty Harry, I think, and I'm doing cowboy guys. Okay. Another Asteroids. Same exact cartridge. Well, not the same one. One exactly like it, except maybe a little bit of dirt here and there. So more Asteroids. Can't have too much Asteroids, except you can only play one at a time. Ooh, look at that. Retro stickers. And all baseball ones. Love these retro kind of styles. I like it when teams go back to the retro uniforms. And what kind of get... Oh, Real Sports Baseball. Of course, that makes sense. This is one of the newer games. You could tell because it has a silver label. And now we have a 1982 mark on it. So there you go. Real Sports Baseball. I guess the other baseball was fake sports baseball. Now they got real. It's about time. Reactor. Oh, wait. This is a special version. It's not just Reactor. It's Cannon Reactor. That sounds so much better. Reactor. Don't remember much about this game made by Parker Brothers, but I played it before, and I look forward to playing the Cannon version. It has more oomph. Yeah, let's pour a couple of them. Okay, a Magic Firefighter. I really like the Magic labels. I like this. They kind of combined. I mean, it's like early photoshopping. They combined real stuff with graphics, and I thought they looked sharp. Here you can see the fire truck. It looks like it's right in the middle of a fire. I don't know if it's good or not. Magic did make some pretty good games. We'll see if this is one of their not so good ones. Okay, and next up we have Space Invaders. Text label, one of the original ones. It was a good conversion. This is considered the first killer app. It's the first game that sold systems that people would go out and be like, oh, Space Invaders, I got to play Space Invaders. I have to go buy an Atari just for that. This is considered that. So very, very popular game back in the day. And another Asteroids, except this one with the great artwork that reminds me a lot of Star Wars. I think Star Wars gave some inspiration for that. So Asteroids. Asteroids. It's just fun to say. Say it again. Asteroids. Say it again. Missile Command. That wasn't it, but here we go. Missile Command. Again, I think this is influenced. This guy in the helmet was influenced by the Star Wars guys and some of the Star Wars movies. I believe they wore helmets kind of like that. But Missile Command, the most depressing game ever, because no matter what, you're going to die and the rest of the world is too because you failed. Yeah, Missile Command, where missiles rain down and you stop them as long as you can, but eventually they will catch up. I'm sorry. Did that make you sad? Well, how about another Donkey Kong to make you happy? Do, 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 do. I don't know if that's a Donkey Kong sign. Oh, and Mario's in here too, except he was called Jumpman. So, yep, Mario on an Atari. Wasn't the last time it would happen. Okay. Pac-Man. It looks like he has a mustache because someone got the little nose there. There's little indentations in the cartridge. And this is the Sears Telegames version. I've never seen that version of it, but Sears Telegame Pac-Man. So there you go. I'll have to play this on my Telegame system or just put it in my 7800, which is what I'll do. This is the game that really interested me the most in this lot. Super Skateboarding for the Atari 7800. It's one of the rare third-party releases made by Absolute Entertainment. Now, there was a regular skateboarding, take away the Super, for the 2600, where you were this kid on a skateboard going through a park and trying to get all these skateboard obstacles before the time ran out. And this was a time when, a game like Skate or Die was popular. So what does Super Skateboarding do? Give you more obstacles? Give you more action? Or does it put you in a big factory to turn off everything in the factory while riding a skateboard before the time runs out? Yep, you are going through a factory turning off stuff. Look forward to playing this. I actually owned this back in the day, but I sold my system a long time ago. So it is a little bit of fun. It is a very interesting premise. You are turning off things in a factory. So look forward to trying this one later on. It was the main reason I was looking after it. Okay, let's get some more games here. Oh, this is a nicer looking label of Pac-Man. I love the Pac-Man art. It doesn't matter what you think of the game. The artwork, I think, is fabulous, really 80s. And here, speaking of Pac-Ins, Pac-Man, Pac-Ins, Combat, Pole Position 2, which came with your Pro System or Atari 7800. So there is the standard Pac-In version, and it too has the tears. I wonder if someone just took a flathead screwdriver one day, got bored playing Atari, just said, let's see where I can destroy the label. So there you go, Pole Position 2. Pretty good port. All right, I got, 5 games left. Maze is first. And you could actually tell it by looking at this side, but it's in the low print. 9 telegames. So there's Maze, where you go through a maze. How about this? Video Pinball. Video Pinball is actually pretty fun. I don't know if you played it. The ball's square, and gravity really works against you. The table's straight up and down, but it is a good time. And check out that artwork. I don't know if you remember Sesame Street, where they had that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this ball was going through a pinball table on Sesame Street, but this artwork kind of reminds me of that a little bit. Sunny days sweeping the clouds away. All right, we have Space Invaders again. So you can see there's some duplicates. Ooh, 112 games. Mommy, which game should I get? Well, why not get this one, dear? It has 112 in one. Of course, it's just small variations, but Space Invaders, no matter what variation, is a fun game, except I'm sure there's some variations that are not fun, like everything's invisible, so you have no idea what's going on. 2 more games. Hat Trick, which instead of one-on-one basketball, you have one-on-one hockey. You have 2 guys facing each other, plus they have a goalie too. So it's a super game cartridge, so we'll find out later if that's super fun. And the last cartridge is It's a Mario. Yes, when the Nintendo was on store shelves, you could buy the original Mario Brothers for the 7800. A very weird time, and there's Luigi in there, and it's actually a good port. Now, this is not Super Mario Brothers. It is regular Mario Brothers, which is vastly different from Super, a single screen arcade game that was pretty fun and has been since included on a ton of releases of the Game Boy Advance Mario games, like Super Mario Advance 1 and 2 and 3. They always include Mario Brothers. Even Super Mario Brothers 3, you could play the version of regular Mario Brothers in there. So there you go. This was a pretty good lot, I thought, for about 40 cents a game. Some games, if I saw them in a garage sale, I would not pay 40 cents, but something like Mario Brothers for 7,800, oh, absolutely. Would pay definitely more than that. So I hope you enjoyed this. Hey, if you like videos like this, go ahead and like this. And if you want to see some of these future reviews, why don't you go ahead and subscribe? I might be looking at games like Hat Trick or games like Asteroids. So if you want to see some of these games, go ahead and click that subscribe button. This again is the No Swear Gamer saying thank you for giving me some of your time. I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a wonderful retro 120, 112 I can read games. So there you go. Have a good night, everybody.